All right, guys, Captain Paul here, day 7. Let's go see what's going to happen today. I don't have a good feeling right now. There's a lot of anxiety and frustration. I've got the vendors for the wings showing up, the stabilizers, and then I got to deal with this steering issue. And I don't know exactly, because it's Monday morning. I don't know where the parts are at. I don't know what we're going to have to do yet. But that's what we're gonna have to figure out. So let's go see what's going on up there, and let's go make some coffee and see what we can do today. Explain to me what happened.
Well,
Is that mud on our coffee?
I slept in and I let somebody make coffee, and
I need you up at like 6 a.m. making
well,
that coffee. Something bad happened.
It's going.
I want to talk. Lee.
Just big waves, no control.
I mean, we got a comment yesterday on one of the shorts saying that there were 1 to 2 foot waves, and then weather conditions called out for 15 to 20 knots of wind. Well, I'm going to tell you guys right now, the wind was we were in the conditions. It was 35 knots of wind, and the waves were 3 to 4 footers.
Yeah.
But the problem was they were just chop. It was chop.
Very short.
And if you guys watched, you haven't seen day 6 video yet, but this refrigerator completely jumped up over this edge, came out, and Pete in the video is sitting there holding the refrigerator like this in place. He cannot move or leave that position.
For the next 2 hours.
For 2 hours, he had to sit there and hold that refrigerator. And it is what it is. I mean, some of it was our mistake, but what they did is they had it bolted in up here. Those screws came out, and when they did, then once it started moving, it was over.
Now, I put my own engineering skills in on it, and we got situation solved.
So he added more bracings. He actually went this way with the bracing. They had a cross brace this way.
And it kicked out.
Kicked out. Anyway, and then Lee, you've been working on the horn this morning. So what he did is change the switch because it's aggravating as shit. When we use the horn, I think it's a requirement for the Panama Canal. So he changed this switch out this morning already. And then on our time 0 computer, which is this one, we're not getting our GPS antenna. So I got the electronics guy coming to look for that. And then we're just tightening up all this furniture. We learned yesterday, these all got to lay down on the floor.
Yeah, they hit me yesterday.
Yeah, Janet took a hit. We got to tighten up our
I was
ropes.
sitting right here, and it came all the way over and went bam right on one of my feet.
And then the engine room, actually everything went really, the engines are running really well. So I'm not too concerned. I've got about probably getting close to 10 to 15 hours on these engines now. They ran really, really well. And we're just learning the yacht. And another big problem, the biggest reason we turned around is this stabilizer fin is not working on the yacht. So, and that's very frustrating. I have really spent some time cleaning, wiping everything down in the pilot house here. Love clean windows. But we also got this time 0, and we got the GPS hooked up to it. And then this is my weather, so I can look at weather, waves, everything for the entire trip. Also, Marine Solutions is here now, and they're working on the rudders where they've got the rudders packed. Now they're going to add a little shim on one of the rudders. So hopefully we get this boat ready to go again tomorrow. It's tying the furniture back in, so you can see we got comes around the chair here. It'll hold the air conditioner, holds the table in, holds that chair in. And that's one of the projects we're working on today. So because basically what happens, especially out there in the weather, Lee saw that yesterday, this stuff will literally go to that wall, and somehow that wall ends up on this wall. And it never fails, Lee. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how.
It's probably because the ship went 45 degrees on one of those waves as we turned around.
Oh, yeah. When we did our... Hey, but remember, we got a comment saying there was no waves and very light winds.
It's all imagination.
Yeah, we were imagining all of it. Anyway, so we've done this for years and years, though. We've done this, I can remember being in a storm in my houseboat. And we will actually take tape, too, the blue tape, the blue painter's tape, and we'll tape every cabinet door, everything shut. and you have to take the piece of tape off there, because everything helps when you're out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't need these doors opening. You don't need anything opening when you're out there in that type of weather. You just need to be going.
Projectiles.
Yeah, it does. It becomes, and you saw how hard it is just to move around the boat. So you don't need to be running in or hitting stuff neither. So it's better just to tie it all down and get it. Be Boy Scout prepared, let's say. So we're gonna make these little covers for our stabilizers. So it's one of the little projects me and Leah are working on today. The stabilizer guy is here. The starboard fin, the port fin, which is that fin right there, is back up and running. It looks like there was a cable failure, but why we want to put these covers on there, because these are electric motors. Somebody spilled a drink, or it's a place to say no stepping. Like, we don't want anybody stepping on these things. We don't want any, there's wires that connect into them. And so we don't want any, we just got to put fragile, no step. And then make sure we're keeping a constant eye on these to make sure we don't want any water down there in that bilge. We don't want anything going on extraordinary in that bilge. So these are just kind of extra little cautious things if some water got spilled down there or something like that. That's kind of our finished product right there. So, hopefully it's really not to do anything. It's just to deter anybody from stepping on these things, and it also will help protect if we spilled some water or anything in there, to help keep the top of them protected. And these go over the stabilizer electric motors. A lot of progress on the yacht today. One of the things that had happened is we had to go rent a car again, and Pete had to drive 700 miles. It was round trip, 350 there and 350 back, and go pick up this metering valve. It's in the steering, and what we think was happening is that valve it is old. What was happening is when the rudders get under pressure, they were releasing, and then you lose the steering on the boat. It's much better since we rebuilt the helms, but it's still doing it, and it caused for a bad situation out there yesterday. So while we're sitting here waiting for the repair on the stabilizers, which was just done, so now we have full blown. The boat has both stabilizers working, and it was diagnosed that it had a bad cable leading a comms cable from the CPU over to the unit. So that got replaced. And then also, you saw just a second ago, we put the boards in here. I'll take you down and show them to you. Walk down in the engine room and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So right there where it says no step, like we don't want anybody stepping on those cables that were coming off there. That comms port cable right there, that's the one that was reportedly bad and wasn't making communication. But again, this helps protect if anybody spilled water or anything, it helps protect the unit, and it also lets anybody know not to step there. That is not a step. You can't. No working in there, no stepping in there. So we did that on both sides. So that's one of the projects me and Lee just did, and Pete's still driving, man. That's like a 15, yeah, it'll be about probably about a 14-hour drive for him to get back here. He should be back about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow morning they'll get the part put on there. We'll get it bled, and then there's one more little shim that they're adding to the steering on the starboard, the port side rudder. That they wanted to add a little shim, and I said yes. If you think that needs to be done, then let's do it. And then that should be it for the steering, and we should be good. We're not leaking water into the boat anymore. I'm happy about that. From those steering packings, so because they got tightened up, and they're actually in pretty good shape actually. Anyway, end of day 7. A lot of work. You saw on the time 0 the stabilizers, the steering, and so tomorrow we're gonna we won't get out of here. Even if we get out of here at noon, it'll be a long day. We'll just take it over to Key West, throw the anchor out, and then next day we get up and it's all the way to Panama. So we'll see what happens. Just so you guys know, I mean, it's almost 10 o'clock at night. Pete just got back with a part. It's been like, this is the second time you've had to do this on for this trip.
Go to the same exact spot.
Yeah, to the same vendor.
At least I knew where I was going.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a 700-mile drive, and if we didn't go do it, it would be 2 to 3 days waiting to get the part, and so we had to go do it. Anyway, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share it with your friends. We're so appreciative. You know, you have no idea. You know, it's a lot of nerves going on and a lot of stuff going on. And you know, I hope you Patreons are enjoying your behind the scenes where we're basically you get to see a little bit more information of what's going on. Anyway, peace out. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Bye.